Happy Friday, TV family. We have almost made it to the weekend. We still have to work today. And of course, on Fridays, we actually work here instead of just slacking off and goofing off for 4 days previous. I'm Dan Kuntz. It is the 5th day of June, 2026. For a lot of high school seniors in our area, it is one of those red letter days. They say you don't really, it's one of those when you graduate, when you go through the commencement exercises, and especially for high school, because that's when you just have to go on and become an adult, is one of those days in your life that you don't really forget. I think. I don't know. I forgot. I'm just kidding. I still remember vague parts of my graduation. It was a while ago. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm wearing an Apple Sox sweatshirt because their home opener for the Wenatchee Apple Sox is tonight. Kamloops is in town. Apple Sox started out on the road in Edmonton and then in Bellingham. They're off to a good start for the season. I won't be able to be at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium tonight because I will be helping out with our broadcast at the Apple Bowl for the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises, number 122 for Wenatchee High School. I'm not 100% sure what number commencement exercise this is for Eastmont High School. I just don't. I'm sorry. I thought I would add it up, and I didn't. Eastmont High School's graduation ceremony live, commercial-free, 6 o'clock Town Toyota Center right here. And then immediately following, we'll be live at the Apple Bowl in Wenatchee for the Wenatchee High School festivities, graduation ceremonies. 4 hours of commercial-free television. It drives the account executives nuts. And good news, it's not going to be as windy as we thought. When we got together yesterday, it looked like it was going to be very windy this afternoon and tonight, and it is going to be windy, but not as bad as originally anticipated. The one big thing is it's going to be really cool for this time of the year. It's still technically spring, but normally by this time, as we get deeper and deeper into June, we start having a lot of warm, sunny, summer-type days. That's not going to be the case this weekend. Weather, yes. News, yes. Sports, not much. Mariners didn't play. They're on the road. We'll talk about that in sports. And the first of a two-part get-together with Doug Jones, the executive director of RiverCom. As you know by now, back in February, the voters around here approved a sales tax to build a new facility for RiverCom, which is badly needed and has been badly needed for over a decade. So Doug and I got together a couple of days ago out at what will be their new location about November of next year to get kind of an inside tour of what they have planned at their new/old facility. It was the offices of CMI Orchards. And it's a fascinating interview with Doug. It's a two-parter. We're going to have a little tour, too. We'll do that next week. Tour time. Here we go. Ta-da. Wenatchee Valley. Not much to look at there. Except just the gorgeous beautifulness of the Wenatchee Valley. Check this out. Yesterday's high, Thursday's high, 76. Normal high, 76. Yesterday's low, 54. Normal low, 53. About as normal as a day could get on June 4th. And these longer days are getting pretty nice. Sunrise this morning was at 5:06. Hello, Leavenworth. Good to see you on this Friday morning. I think, don't all the schools, high schools anyway, graduate today, I'm pretty sure. Westside High School graduates next Tuesday at the Town Toyota Center. We're going to have that for you as well. But I think Cascade, Cashmere, Chelan, Waterville, I think out in Moses Lake and Ephrata, I think they all graduate, have their ceremonies today. Arundel Rock chimes in. Good morning to Lake Antioch. You can see a little sliver of Rocky Reach Dam. Pretty good chunk of Turtle Rock and Mission Ridge out in the distance. All the snow is gone now for Mission Ridge a little earlier than they would normally like to have it. So just a heads up there. Basically from about 6,800 feet and below, there's pretty much no snow now. And that's our hose landing camera. That is on the Douglas County side of the Columbia River, looking back out towards a pretty good chunk of Antioch on your way up to Lake Chelan. And have they painted the Antioch High School class of 2026 thing on the rock there? Have they done that yet? I don't know. If you know, please let me know. A couple of slides to show for you. We do have some windy conditions. Again, it's going to be windy today, west to southwest winds as a cold front comes in from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to be, relative humidity is going to be very low. Right now in the valley, relative humidity is 47%. That is pretty low. So again, Eddie, and here, check this out. The relative humidity out in the Palisades, 36%. That is bone dry for this time of the year. So any kind of fires that get headwind with the wind and the dry grasses, which are rapidly drying out, could be an issue. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, that's not going to happen. And it is going to get a little chilly this weekend, unseasonably cold, and that's why you can see the storm track from the Gulf of Alaska ushering in the cold air. It's also going to suck down some cooler air from British Columbia and Edmonton, and a little bit from Alberta as well. So things are going to cool down quite a bit over the weekend. Again, our normal high is 76. We'll be at least 10 degrees cooler than that, and the overnight lows are going to be cool as well. So get ready for some unseasonably cool weather. For a lot of people, it's fine. They'll take it. It's, you know, and some people like it just right about there as far as temperatures are concerned, but it is going to be quite chilly. And be prepared tonight if you're going to be at the Wenatchee High School graduation. Once that sun goes down at about 8:45 or so, it's going to get rather cool. All right, from Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. 71 for our high today. It is right now 55 degrees. It's going to be breezy today. Then it's going to get windy mid to late afternoon. For the Wenatchee Valley anyway, the windiest conditions will be from about 6 o'clock to about midnight, 6 p.m. to midnight tonight. The strongest wind gusts will be between about 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock tonight. Once the sun goes down, the winds should be gradually dying down, but there's no escaping the wind late this afternoon and overnight tonight. Also a little breezy on Saturday, but not bad. But this is that cold air. Sunshine for everybody, but we're only going to get to 66. And 46 for the overnight low is about 10 degrees below normal as well on Saturday night. By the way, it's going to be windy on Saturday night. It'll be breezy Saturday during the day and then windy on Saturday night, because that will be the end of this system coming in from the Gulf of Alaska. So no wind on Sunday, but some of that cold air is still going to be trapped around here. So Sunday looks just gorgeous. Sunshine, light breeze, not windy at all with a high of 71. And then things get a little unsettled for the early part of next week. Another round of showers is a distinct possibility. By the way, on Tuesday, we have about a 50% chance there. The big story today, a little on the cool side for this time of the year, and quite windy this afternoon and tonight. News is next on the agenda, and it's 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
The NCW Life Channel is proud to bring you live coverage of the 2026 commencement exercises for Wenatchee and Eastmont High School on Friday, June 5th. The Eastmont graduation ceremony from the Town Toyota Center will begin at 6 p.m., followed by Wenatchee High's graduation from the Apple Bowl at 8. Coverage courtesy of our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Coverage also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Caldwell Banker Cascade, and Together for Youth. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
Chelan PUD works hard year-round to reduce fire risk and provide dependable service for our customers. But when extreme fire weather is forecasted, we may resort to a public safety power shutoff, turning off power to a specific area in order to prevent fire. In this rare event, we'll keep you informed before, during, and after the shutoff. To stay prepared and check if you're in a PSPS zone, visit chelanpud.org/PSPS.
55 degrees here in the valley, bountiful sunshine, quite a bit of wind this afternoon and tonight. A little windy and quite cool on Saturday. Sunday looks downright gorgeous, though. It's just about 10 minutes after the hour, after the departure last month of the agency's chief administrator. Now layoffs are on the way for the Chelan Douglas Health District. The two-county public health department oversees everything from child nutrition programs, vaccinations, disease outbreaks, birth and death certificates for the Wenatchee Valley. In a special meeting on Monday, the Chelan-Douglas Health Board said $29 million in state-mandated cuts to Washington's public health funding has created for them a $300,000 deficit. And that means 3 job positions at the agency will be cut, and 1 currently open job may not be filled. Administrator Kristen Hosey signed a separation agreement with the health district. That happened in the middle of last month, and her role will be held on an interim basis by Deputy Administrator Corey Lawson. Officials say Hosey's resignation was not related to the layoffs. The health district did not immediately provide any information on which positions would be cut or how they'll be selected. Chelan County Commissioners interviewed 3 candidates Tuesday to serve as county auditor for the remainder of Skip Moore's elected term, and among them, Skip Moore himself. He retired at the last day of April after 17 years as the county auditor. He was one of 3 applicants that was suggested by the Chelan County Republican Party to fill out the remainder of Skip Moore's term. Commissioners also interviewed Brant Capel. He's the chief deputy auditor. He's also a candidate for the main job in the general election. And the 3rd applicant was Aaron Young, who previously was the Chelan County Republican chair. He's currently running for Chelan County PUD commissioner. County leaders expect to discuss the candidates next week, and then they'll take action on an appointment. As the school year rolls to an end, Leavenworth High School needs new leadership. Principal James Swanson announced this week he will not be returning to Cascade High School as principal. He's been the principal since 2022. Cascade School District issued a request for applicants to take on the principal's post for the upcoming school year. The district is also interviewing candidates to become the new principal of Icicle River Middle School. That's where Swanson spent a year before he moved on to Cascade High School. First responders with Lake Chelan Health were recognized last week in a yearly awards presentation hosted by the Greater Wenatchee EMS Council. 6 members of the hospital's emergency team won the life-saving award for resuscitating a patient who went into cardiac arrest with no medical help nearby, alongside 2 Chelan Fire and Rescue firefighters who joined in the response. Lake Chelan EMS was also awarded for outperforming all other Chelan and Douglas agencies in advanced life support testing, and emergency medical technician Cindy Dietrich was named the region's 2025 EMT of the Year. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department also won the year's highest CPR award for basic life support. The Greater Wenatchee EMS Council represents local emergency responders in the 2-county area, and they help develop policies and training for its member agencies. Wednesday night, in case you missed it, the Wenatchee World passed out its World's Best Awards in a red carpet ceremony at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Our own Josie Meets was there. Miss Washington Amber Pike were there. They interviewed local celebrities and entrepreneurs in the lead up to the awards ceremony. Reporter Nathan Ushelman was there to chat with some of the winners and nominees.
An elegant night here at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Everyone in World's Best voted on by you, the public, here tonight, and the energy is palpable as the community comes together to enjoy the night. Well, hello there. Hi there, you guys. So how are you guys enjoying the night so far? It just started, but
everybody is so beautiful. The food looks amazing. We're here supporting Matthew of the East Wenatchee Dog Pack. He has really helped all of our dogs, so yes, for sure.
Well, what is so special about being the world's best?
It's hard to do. I've owned a restaurant in Wenatchee since 1970. So, and I've owned 2 or 3 at a time sometimes, but it's gotten tougher. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, I don't know. But yeah, it's a tough business.
Well, if you guys do win tonight, what does that really mean to you guys to win World's Best?
It means that we're doing something right. And each year when we feel like we've won that we've done a lot of things right, whether it's from our restaurant, from out in our links, our pricing, our customer service, what all of us do is one cohesive unit. But it also tells us, all right, we're in the radar now. We got to step our game up because there's a lot of amazing golf courses in our area, all competing for the same title.
That'll do it here from the Wenatchee Convention Center. Be sure to check into this weekend's Wenatchee World to check out the list of the world's best. For NCW Life, I'm Nathan Eshelman.
Thank you much, Nathan, and you were in the loop on this Friday. We still have a newscast to get to. It'll be on at 5, but not at 6, because we got graduation ceremonies coming at 6 o'clock and right through until probably a little past 10 o'clock. So if you want to watch the news on television, your best bet's at 5 o'clock. And then, of course, it'll be on our YouTube page as well, right around 5 o'clock, because we have Eastmont's commencement exercises at 6, Wenatchee's following at 8, commercial free. Because you can't really play commercials during graduation ceremonies. It just doesn't work. If you got a news tip, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. I was able to scrape together some sports this morning. Good for me. We'll see how we did in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The NCW Life channel is proud to bring you live coverage of the 2026 commencement exercises for Westside High School on Tuesday, June 9th. The ceremonies at the Town Toyota Center will begin at 7 p.m. Our live broadcast is made possible by our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. The broadcast is also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Caldwell Banker Cascade, and Together for Youth. Congratulations to the Westside High School class of 2026.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Sports at 18 minutes after the hour. The Mariners will try and start a new streak today in Detroit. They begin a road trip. They'll take on the Tigers this afternoon after seeing their 8-game winning streak come to an end against the Mets on Wednesday. Detroit is 25-38 overall. They're 14-14 in home games. The Mariners are 14-14 in road games. Go figure that one out. Mariners have the 5th best team ERA in baseball, though. It's a good pitching squad, the Mariners. Their team ERA is 3.47. Today's game, the first meeting between these two teams this year, and then the Mariners will head to Baltimore early next week to take on the Orioles. Only 2 teams in the American League West saw action yesterday, and good news, they both lost. As you can see from the American League West scoreboard, the Cubs nipped the Athletics and the Pirates took care of the Astros. 2 games into the Stanley Cup Finals, 2 very exciting and entertaining games down in Raleigh, and the Carolina Hurricanes came back and took Game 2 over the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3. Very entertaining. So that series is now tied at 1 game apiece. Today's a travel day. Game 3 will be tomorrow afternoon in Las Vegas at 5 o'clock. Wenatchee gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bellingham nips the Apple Sox in West Coast League action. The final there was 3-2, but a good start for the road trip for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. They had 3 games in Edmonton. They only played 2. 1 was rained out. They took 2 of 3 from Bellingham, and now it's the home opener tonight. Kamloops will be in town at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Opening day home opener for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. And how did the rest of the West Coast League do yesterday? Here is your scoreboard. By the way, Wenatchee is tied for first place, but there's a lot of baseball to be played. Kamloops is coming to town. They beat Ridgefield, Nanaimo over Kelowna, Port Angeles over Portland, Corvallis got by Walla Walla, Marion over Bend in a offensive slugfest. Yakima Valley snuck by Springfield, Victoria over Edmonton, and those are just some of the games that people are playing. When I opened up the obscure holiday folder today, I realized I didn't put anything in it, so I had to start all over again. First of all, it's President's Day in Equatorial Guinea. That's on the west coast of Africa. They have a president. He's a dictator. He lives high in the hog, and the rest of Equatorial Guinea, well, they can't even eat. It's pretty sad there. Ironically enough, the leading export for Equatorial Guinea is oil, followed by anger. It's Constitution Day in Denmark. I want to wish you folks a happy Constitution Day. National Veggie Burger Day. I tried one, didn't like it. Now, I seriously considered doing National Donut Day today, but donuts, I can take them or leave them. But I really love fish and chips. And today is National Fish and Chips Day. Today, I love fish and chips. You remember Hart's Fish and Chips? British-style fish and chips here in Wenatchee. They were around for a while back in the 90s. I miss that place. I miss that gentleman. Fish and chips, of course, is a staple of the English diet. It was one of the very few food items that was not rationed in England during World War II because there was abundance of it. They would send the trawlers up to the North Sea and just catch cod and halibut till the cows came home, so there was enough fish and chips to go around for everybody. You saw Pita Zeta in the story about the world's best. That's, in my opinion, the best fish and chips in town is at Easy's Burger Deluxe. But Bob's Classic in downtown Wenatchee, they have some pretty good fish and chips as well. I love fish and chips. It's filling, and it's a little expensive, but who doesn't love fish and chips? So it's National Fish and Chips Day today, always the first Friday in June. 22 minutes after the hour, 109 years ago today, June 5th, 1917, there's a war in Europe, you know. The Kaiser kicked things up, and now here they go again. Now, we're not in the war yet, but the Secretary of War went to Woodrow Wilson and said, if we get dragged into this war, we don't have the folks to do it. And so Woodrow Wilson said, well, I guess we're going to have to do a draft. Conscription begins in this country, even though we weren't actually at war. Wilson called for volunteers. He got 70,000 volunteers, and the Secretary of War said, not enough. And so on this date, 1917, the Selective Service Act went into, well, it went into effect. All males, regardless of your physical ability, all males aged 21 to 30 were required to register to potentially be drafted. And then they changed it. Instead of 21, it was 18, and instead of 30, 45. So 18 to 45. And unlike the Civil War, this was the first draft since the Civil War. In the Civil War, you could buy a substitute for $300. Couldn't do that. For this draft, if you were physically able to serve, the odds are you were going to serve. By the end of World War I, by the way, in case you're curious, some 2 million men volunteered for military service in this country, and 2.8 million were drafted. The first peacetime draft 109 years ago today. 58 years ago today, he had just won the California Democratic primary, and after giving a speech at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California, New York Senator Robert F. Kennedy was cutting through the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel and was shot. The other networks had all gone away except ABC. ABC stuck around with live coverage, which is why we have this.
Senator Robert F. Kennedy, who won the California primary last night, had just completed making his victory speech in the ballroom of the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. He then started to move out to return to his suite when he was shot. And the crowd begins to break up. The cheers, of course, start. You'll be able to hear that first shot in just a moment. As you will see, very few people had any understanding of what it meant.
Hey, I want to hear him really loud.
There it is. That was the first shot. The crowd continues to move away, heading for the doors there of the ballroom. As the first screams, somebody has realized what has taken place. Listen for the other shots. Watch this young girl put her hand to her face.
Kennedy was hit 3 times, 2 wounds not fatal, but he was shot point blank directly behind his right ear. He slipped into unconsciousness and would die 25 hours later in a Los Angeles hospital. 5 other people, by the way, were wounded in this shooting in L.A. 58 years ago today. The collapse of the Teton Dam 50 years ago today, an earthen dam, not a hydroelectric dam, an earthen dam for flood control and irrigation was built, and they were filling it for the very first time on this date 50 years ago today in eastern Idaho. 11 people and 16,000 head of cattle drowned. Here is the collapse of the Teton Dam 50 years ago today.
As I sit here and watch, you see it caving. It's just coming apart.
At 11:57 a.m. on June 5th, 1976, the Teton Dam collapsed, flooding homes, farms in the upper Snake River Valley with 80 billion gallons of water.
Holy, great. What can I say? People downstream better get out. People downstream better get out.
An end report from an aircraft in the vicinity of Sugar City. The wall of water is approximately 5 to 6 miles wide and is moving buildings and everything out of its way. There are cattle in the front that don't have a chance, and suggests that all the people that are anywhere near the river at all to get out of the way.
Though the warnings came late, and it was difficult to convince many people the dam indeed had burst, the timing of the flood in the middle of the day prevented mass deaths, and most residents were evacuated to higher ground where they watched the eerie occurrence of houses and belongings floating away. Some 220,000 acre-feet of water roared through the huge gouge of the Teton Dam that unforgettable Saturday morning. The water spread its destruction as fast as a mile a minute in the areas of Wilford and Sugar City. As it cut a swath of destruction 7 miles wide, the water's level reached from 8 to 10 feet in height. The results? Over $1 billion worth of damage. Destruction to 4,000 homes, wiping out 250 businesses and 3,500 farm buildings. 11 human deaths. The killing of 13,000 head of livestock and stripping topsoil from 100,000 acres of rich farmland.
It was big news in these parts 50 years ago today. On this date in 1981, something very strange is going on in Los Angeles. The Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention reports that 5 people, men, in Los Angeles have some sort of pneumonia that they have never seen before. All they knew is that they had a weakened immune system, and the pneumonia that they got would all but certainly kill them. It turned out, they didn't know it at the time, it was the first recognized sign of AIDS. That was 45 years ago today. And the Tank Man. We talked about Tiananmen Square yesterday when the troops rolled in. They didn't get everybody out of there. This is some of the most famous protest footage ever taken. The famous Tank Man halts the process of a bunch of advancing tanks. He stood there for half an hour during the Tiananmen Square protests of 1989. Who this person is, we do not know. There is no information about the identity of the Tank Man or even what happened to him. What happened to the crew of the tank is also unknown. They're really good at suppressing information in China. At least one witness said the Tank Man was not the only person to stand in front of a tank. He just happened to be the only one who got caught on video. That was, if there was such a thing as viral video in 1989, that was it. Birthdays. I love jazz. I really love jazz. I don't much care for Kenny G, but he's a Northwest legend, born and raised in Seattle, University of Washington. Kenny Gorlick. Kenny G is 70 years old today. His album, Breathless, which came out in 1992 when I had a record store, I couldn't keep it in stock. It is still the biggest selling jazz album ever, 14 million copies. Again, not a big fan of Kenny G, but I'll give him this. He's a scratch golfer. He's an outstanding golfer. He's had something like 7 or 8 holes in one, and he was one of the very first investors in Starbucks way back when. Howard Schultz said, I'm starting a coffee company. Kenny, you want to give me some capital? And so Kenny G doesn't really have to work much, as you might imagine. And Mark Wahlberg probably doesn't have to work much. He's 55 years old today. I think it's a little underrated. Didn't he get like a couple of Academy Award nominations? I can't remember. Mark Wahlberg of the famous Wahlberg family is 55 years old today. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Summer's not here yet, but it'll be here. And there will come time in the not too distant future when your AC will simply go on and not turn off even in the middle of the night. It's a big workload for your air conditioning part of your HVAC system. Make sure it can handle the stresses come summer by having Alpine Air go out and take a little look-see. And if there's something wrong, they're the first ones you want to call to get it fixed. Going to take a break. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Minotti, and the first of a 2-part great conversation. You're going to learn a lot from Doug Jones. He, of course, is the executive director of RiverCom. And earlier this week, we went out to what will eventually be their new headquarters out in Old Station. We got a sneak peek of what they have in store. It's going to be pretty nice and vitally important to this area. Doug Jones, when we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Greetings, Wenatchee Valley from Collins Fashions. We have a beautiful selection of dresswear for your special occasions, and our staff will provide professional and personal service. New spring summer fashions from Joseph Ribkoff, Tribal, Charlie B, Habitat, David Klein, Shayna, Tommy Bahama, and many more. Sundresses, crops, capris, tops, blouses, sandals, and tinnies. Our Brighton selection is perfect gifts for women of all ages. Collins Fashions, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for spring and summer of 2026. Book now for your free consultation to lock in your savings of a free heat pump, an $11,000 value. Let the experts at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your backyard into a vacation paradise with an industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa. Give us a call today.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I am very vocal and very open about my opposition to that man in the White House for justifiable reasons. As such, I have been routinely accused of being full of hate, being deranged, and being a liberal Democrat, none of which is accurate. This criticism reached a new level after the incident at the press correspondence dinner when one of my detractors blamed me and my ilk for that wacko's act of violence. Now, this attitude is an indication of how the derangement caused by that man affects some of his MAGA-ite followers. As I said to this particular detractor, his assuming that since I oppose the man, I'm responsible for or in approval of this attempted attack is deplorable. So grow up. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Celebrate America at the Real Homes Rock Fest on the last Saturday in June. Great bands including Too Slim and the Tail Draggers and the best Bon Jovi tribute band, Non Jovi. It all happens at the Rock Island Golf Course. Free shuttle service with food and craft vendors and a wine and beer garden. Be prepared for family fun entertainment and live music till the fireworks show. The Real Homes Rock Fest at the Rock Island Golf Course Saturday, June 27th, 2026.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
The 22nd Annual Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival is coming to the Chelan County Expo Center, June 19th through the 21st. This year has 4 national touring bands, Appalachian Roadshow, Southern Legacy, the Rick Ferris Band, and Vicky Vaughn. Enjoy the Slow Jam and the return of Taylor's Camp. All the details can be found at WenatcheeRiverBluegrassFestival.com. Welcome back to the show. Back in February, voters who lived within the physical confines, the geographical footprint that is the RiverCom service area, approved overwhelmingly in February what Doug was hoping for quite some time. We all know that their headquarters at the top floor of the Wenatchee Police Department has been badly overcrowded, has been for over a decade. Doug said we need a new facility. He went out, campaigned, talked about it, educated the public. The public overwhelmingly said, yeah, let's give RiverCom a new home, and where we're sitting right now, or standing, will eventually, in a couple of years, be RiverCom's new home. So we're here to get an exclusive tour of what it is now and what it will eventually be with Doug Jones, who of course runs RiverCom, among other things. He's a busy guy. It's good to see you, my friend.
Thanks for having me. That's
Before
great.
we roll tape, Doug, let us walk through the building. Used to be a CMI headquarters, sales, brokerage, things like that. CMI moved out a while ago, so you're not dealing with somebody who's waiting for their lease to expire.
Exactly.
And them to get their furniture out of here. This building has been vacant, and soon it's going to be your headquarters, and this just fell into your lap. It must be clean living or good vibes or something, because I can't think of a better place for RiverCom to call home than here.
Yeah, no, it's been really good. And first of all, thank you to the voters, because it did allow us to move forward with this project, which is definitely needed based on where we're currently at in the third floor of the police department. So, yeah, as you know, we were looking at building new over in East Wenatchee. In fact, we still have that property, but the cost was very expensive, and we had some issues trying to get funding for that. And so we did. We went out looking for an existing building that we could retrofit and that we could make work for us that would be essentially quite a bit cheaper. So moving to this building and retrofitting it and remodeling it saved us about $16 million from building new. So that was huge.
Taxpayers like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and it's still going to meet our needs. It's still, as you can see, it's a beautiful location. We love the location. It's a little smaller than what we were going to build new, but nonetheless, it does work for us for the next probably 20, 30 years. So it's really been good working through the design phase with MJ Neal and his team, just to get it just right for what we're looking for, to make sure the dispatchers have the space and the equipment that they need, and that the administrative space works for us and things like that. So
the COM part of RiverCom stands for communications, and the most critical part of everything is wherever your headquarters were going to be once you moved, you had to be able, from a line of sight transmission kind of a thought process, how are we going to get our signals out to dispatch to the necessary people, be it fire, ambulance, law enforcement. That was a critical part of it, and that kind of limited where you could physically move RiverCom to, but this is going to work. Talk about that.
It is. We have to be in a location that's open to our various radio sites. So I think we have 4 within the valley here, and we have to be able to hit those so that we can transmit and reach the agencies that we serve in the 4 corners of the counties, basically. So we can do that. As you can see, it's very expansive. I know we have a tower just down there on Wenatchee Heights, so obviously we hit that. We have a tower up on the hill behind us. We can hit that. We have a tower in East Wenatchee. We can hit that. And then we have a tower up here. So great location. We couldn't have asked for a better location.
It's called line of sight, and you have to have it. And a lot of these will be translator to translator to translator, so you can pop into those canyons and those hollers that we talked about back in January and February, where there are dead spots, where not only can dispatchers not talk to the necessary first responders, they can't talk to dispatch or even to each other. Right. This problems will be solved in many ways, right?
Right. This will help the overall backbone of our radio network to be able to have this. We are going to put a large tower here that has to be. So in addition to the upgrades you'll see at the buildings, we'll put a tower here with that capability to reach those locations that can then continue to reach out and fill those dead spaces.
Not just any tower, 125 feet tall. So you had some technical, we need to give these people some love while I'm thinking about it. The people who actually run the background, who keep the equipment humming, who go up to the transmitters and translators and maintain them because they need to be maintained. These are top flight professionals. They were probably one of the first people you contacted to say, can we put a tower here and will it work?
Right.
And they said, yeah, right?
Yeah. Josh, our radio manager, he's been with us for a long time. He's great, and he's my first contact. Whenever I looked at property or a facility, he's got a program he goes to, and he looks at that line of sight, and that's critical. So yeah, he was the first one that really gave this the thumbs up, and told us how tall that tower needed to be and if it was feasible. And once that worked out, we moved ahead with the rest of it. So.
There, of course, RiverCom doesn't close, never ever closes, and the other major concern is how do we retrofit this so we never ever close? If there's an earthquake, we're open. If there's a flood, we're open. All those things that need to be done, and this building, from an infrastructure standpoint, means you can work with what you have here.
Right. We have 2 buildings here actually that are currently connected by kind of a bridge. And the nice thing about this facility, which again worked out perfect for us, is we do have to retrofit the operational side of the facility, which is really just one building. The building we're standing in front of now, this will be the administrative building, so we're just going to remodel this. But the operations building has to have a lot more structural build up to it, which costs money to be able to be risk category 4, which is a requirement. So in a sense, if we have an earthquake, this building will fall, that one won't, but we'll still be running.
Right. And when this goes out for bid, which is going to be fairly soon, right?
Yep, August timeframe.
Yeah, contractors are going to have to deal with some specifics that many contractors probably have never had to deal with before.
Could be. We have great contractors, and of course, MJ Neal was good about getting a hold of the right people to make sure that we had the structural analysis needed. So our plans currently have all that built in, and we can do that. So yeah.
When you first walked through this building, did you think, damn, this may work?
Absolutely.
You have a little epiphany?
Yeah, I actually had my doubts because of the size initially, but my manager, Michaela, and Jeremiah at the time, they said, let's just go take a look at it to see. And you're right, once I walked in, I'm like, this could work. And as the more we dug into it and looked at plans and started doing all the design work, it's like this is really going to work out nice. So.
When it comes to the design and with working in conjunction with MJ and Neil, did the dispatchers have a role to play in this, since they're the ones who are actually going to have to be here 24/7, 365? Say we'd like to have maybe this, or put a break room here, or
Absolutely,
that kind of deal. Talk about the input that the people who the RiverCom dispatchers, the pros that they are, had in making this come to fruition from architectural standpoint.
Yeah, when we were thinking of building new, we went to them as part of the design phase, and we asked them. We actually did a survey with the company we were dealing with at the time to exactly get their input about what their priorities were. Security in the parking lot, so we're going to have a fence around the parking lot. It'd be nice to have covered parking, so that when they get off at 3 in the morning, they don't have to go clear snow off their car in the dark and have to worry about that, things like that. So covered parking, a place to be outside, which obviously we have here with the decks, and we'll have some green areas outside that they can go out. And obviously, this is great for them on a break. They can go out into the park and walk. So yeah, they need a good environment because they are behind the desk for 12 hours at a time. They need a great environment to come out and take a break. So they're going to get that here. Which is nice.
A great recruiting tool too.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Everything new? I mean, office furniture, computers, everything that we associate with what RiverCom needs to do. Is it all going to be new stuff? Then you'll have some backup at your own location. How's that going to work?
Yeah, for the most part. But again, that's the nice thing about moving into a building. There's a lot of things here structurally that are good, so we don't have to go new. The window coverings, for example, they're fairly new, so we don't have to buy those. So again, just trying to be good stewards of public funds. We're looking at every aspect of this building to say, does it have to be new, or can we live with the current condition of it? So, but yeah, as far as the dispatch floor, that'll all be new with the desks and everything. Those are pretty specialized. Obviously, the equipment that we're going to put in for the radio networks, the phone networks and things, that'll all be new. Because like we talked about earlier, we're going to keep a certain part of the old dispatch center as our backup center. So if for whatever reason this goes down, we can hop right in there, turn it on, and keep operating quickly.
I guess the biggest challenge you had, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago with Doug, you got to put an elevator in. There's no elevator here.
Right.
You've figured that out.
Yeah.
Where the foyer, the hallway between the two buildings is going to be, that's going to go out. Elevators going in, right?
Yes, exactly. And that was one of the biggest costs. Was trying to figure out how to kind of meet current standards, and an elevator is one of them. Both these buildings, they're connected, have 2 stories. There's currently no way to get from first floor to second floor. And it's not only for the benefit of having an elevator for people, but also we do a lot of heavy equipment that goes up and down. So having that elevator will help get equipment into the rooms that need to be outfitted and things like that. So
where do we go from here? The timeline. The city approved your conditional use permit. I'm trying to remember what that's called.
Yep.
That was in April.
Right.
The blueprints are out. The drawings are out. You have a general idea of what we're going to do. There's going to be surprises. There always is.
Yeah, sure.
So walk me through the timeline here on this project from this point forward in June to move-in day.
Yeah. So we're on timeline. Our schedule was to have all of our construction documents to the city for the permit by June 1st, and we met that deadline. So the city has all our documents, our permit application, everything like that. So I think that's going to take a month to 2 months to get that back. In the meantime, August time frame is when we're going to start looking at going out for bids for contractors, general contractors, and then towards the end of the year we'll start construction, and we're looking at completing construction and move in by middle of next year, 2027.
Were you ever concerned at all in January and going up to election day in February that this might not pass? There were some people. There was never any doubt in my mind this was going to pass with flying colors, and it did. But your job is to worry. You get paid pretty good money to get gray hair. Was there any concern at all?
Or no hair.
What was it like Tuesday on election day at 8:05 when the numbers spilled out and hey, we got it? I mean, at what point were you anxious or anything like that?
I got the sense of it was not so much about the money, but though the money was nice, but support for RiverCom, community support for our public safety community, RiverCom being the foundation of that. So that was what really warmed my heart, was just not just the money, which is great and thank you, but just the support that we have from the community, because no one likes to be taxed. I mean, we're in a very tax fatigued society right now. So I think that really spoke volumes to the support that we get as a law enforcement, fire, and EMS community, and RiverCom just from our community, and the importance of that, and making sure that that's a priority to the community.
And you're not that far from the State Patrol's dispatch center for District 6.
Right, exactly.
You guys can help each other out.
Yep.
It's hard to believe, folks, because most people don't remember, but I do. There was a time when the fire had their own dispatch, and Wenatchee Police had their own dispatch, and East Wenatchee Police had their own dispatch, and the counties at RiverCom has been a gem, a much-needed gem.
Absolutely. The consolidation back in 2004 was just a win for everybody. Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. So.
Doug, it's always great to see you.
You too.
And we'll keep it. By the way, this is not going to be a public building, so maybe when you do the open house in November of next year, you'll do a big party, and then it's like, everybody get out, we have work to do.
Absolutely.
It's good to see you, Doug.
We'll definitely do an open house.
I appreciate it, bud.
So much.
My pleasure.
All right.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
I'm Sakota with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'm the volunteer program manager over here. And today we're showing you Rocky. He is a 7-year-old lovable pup. He loves to play around, play fetch, loves his treats, and loves to go on hikes, car rides, and all those types of things. He did great at Touch a Truck with all the kids and was just loving on all the pets all day long. So he is a dog that might be older, but he has lots of energy still left in him. Would love to go on all the different hikes and car rides and any event that you'd like or anything like that. He'd love to be the only pet in the home to soak up all your love. Just like all of our other animals here, he is already neutered, has all of his vaccines, and is ready for his next adventure. We don't have any information on cats. Yeah, I don't have any information on cats, but he doesn't seem to do good with other dogs or other animals like that, so we would assume that cats would kind of be on that same level. So he's definitely one that would want to be the only pet in the home. Yeah, is that right? Some of the tricks that he knows will be your classic commands like sit. Hey, I know I have treats, can you sit? So he knows how to sit. He can lay down. And we're working on some other ones. He can shake, he can do a little spin, those types of things. So your classic ones are definitely ones that he'll know. He's a smart boy, so he's very easily trainable. So we've taught him a lot of tricks while he's been here. He's currently one of our longest stay dogs. So he spent a lot of time with us over here learning all the different things. And just a sweet, lovable boy. He is one of our top candidates for doggy dates. We seem to always have someone in here at least a couple times a week taking him out on doggy dates. Some of the things that we have heard back feedback is that he's great on walks, great in car rides, loves to put his head out the window, those kinds of things. But he's just one of our very loved dogs around here, by the community as well, yeah. So if you want to come and meet Rocky, we are going to be open from 12:30 to 6 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. And you can meet him and come and say hi and maybe take him home.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Yeah. You're gonna find your home, huh? Yeah. Okay, get you a home.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
All right, quick little programming reminder. You just saw my conversation with Doug Jones from RiverCom. He's the executive director. We also got a tour. We took our camera around that complex, that campus, which, by the way, is deceptively big. That building is. We'll have that for you next week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. First things first, pool to spa services. Upgrade relaxation with a Bullfrog Spa. From Pool to Spa Services, they have the exclusive and patented Jetpack therapy system for customized comfort for every seat. Visit Pool to Spa Services on Worthing in Wenatchee. Bring a swimsuit and a towel. I think they'll just let you hop in and try out a hot tub right there. I mean, why not, right? And a friendly reminder, you can grab a towel and a swimsuit and jump into the Wenatchee River. I don't recommend it. I do recommend you go to the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival because it's a lot of fun. Good people, too. All the people who put it on, it's not that they just love bluegrass music, they're just good people. It's the 19th, 20th, and 21st at the Chelan County Expo Center. That's where the performances will be, of course, under the big stage. And they'll be camping out there at the camping spot on the campus of the Chelan County Fairgrounds. If you want the full camping experience, the full hookup, water, electricity, sewer, all that stuff, that is first come, first serve, and that starts Monday the 15th at 12 noon. Heads up on that. Speaking of heads up, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but I'm going to mention it one more time here today. Eastmont High School's commencement exercises will commence, pardon the pun, at 6 o'clock at the Town Toyota Center. Parking will be tight because they're going to pack that place with graduates and family members celebrating the class of 2026. So just a heads up on that. And they don't have as many parking spots as they used to because they've had to take some out while they do the construction. They're expanding the community drink there at the Town Toyota Center. So just a heads up, you may need to park at Walla Walla Point Park and take a little walk. And of course, Wenatchee's is outdoors, and that means fireworks. That's why they always do it outside at Liebhoff Field of the Apple Bowl. So if you live in the general vicinity of Wenatchee High School at about 10:15 or so tonight, you will hear and see fireworks. Heads up for the dogs because fireworks and animals don't necessarily mix. So I wanted to give you a heads up on that so you're not surprised when you start hearing booms and seeing explosions at 10:15 tonight around the Apple Bowl. All right, as far as the weather is concerned, there is some fire concerns out there because the system that's coming in is not only bringing in quite a bit of wind, it's also going to bring the relative humidity way down. Right now in the Palisades, relative humidity is 26%. At Pangborn, it's at 36%. That is very dry air, and it's going to get drier, and it's going to get windy. Now, it's not going to be as windy as we thought yesterday at this time, but it is still going to be quite windy, and we're in for a big cool down. That is why you can see the storm track taking in all that cool air from the Gulf of Alaska. It's also going to act as a giant vacuum and sucking in the cold air from British Columbia and Edmonton, Alberta into our area. So temperatures are going to be well below normal, starting really today, but especially tomorrow. As far as the winds are concerned for today, as you take a look at the forecast, it'll be windy by this afternoon. For sustained winds, it'll be, and this is for the Wenatchee Valley, about 6 o'clock tonight to about midnight. As far as the gusts are concerned, the strongest wind gusts tonight in the valley will be between about 7 to about 9. We're only going to get to 71 degrees, and that's it. Partly cloudy tonight, still windy right through the overnight hours, 48 for the overnight low. It's going to be windy on Saturday, but not too bad, but it is going to be chilly, 66 for the overnight low on Saturday. The system exits Saturday night, which means wind, and 46, and then we wrap it up with a very nice Sunday. No wind at all, and a high of 71. That's it for us. We will see you Monday. Bye-bye.